Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about busking. So specifically I'm going to be addressing a lot of the common questions I get about busking and just the questions that people have asked me over the period I've been doing it. So we'll get right into it, and I'll start by addressing possibly the most common question I get is, do you need a license? Generally speaking, no. For most of the UK, or at least most of England, you don't need it's not mandatory to have a license. A lot of councils, for example, will operate on this kind of voluntary permit scheme, things like that. The only places where it is mandatory to have one is a few of the boroughs in London, mainly like Camden, Hillingdon, I forget the other one, Camden, Hillingdon, and Westminster. So those are the places in the UK, or possibly the only places where it is mandatory to have a busking license. Otherwise, no, you don't. It's an unlicensed and unregulated activity. So hopefully that clears that question up, and that just answers that one. So that's so the next one is, what are some of the negative aspects? So I guess the first one, would be to address the weather. Busking in the UK can be quite precarious, certainly in terms of the weather. It can get really, really cold. The winters sometimes I've been out in sub-zero temperatures, and that can be really grueling. It is really quite difficult to move your fingers, and you are suffering, really. Let's be honest. And when people come up to you telling you it's cold and stuff like that, it makes it a bit more grueling. So that's kind of one of the negative aspects of it. It's just particularly I guess in the UK. I guess the money aspect of it depends on how you look at it. You don't earn the same amount every day, or every week, or every month. But again, that's just kind of, you get used to that pretty quick. It's just part of the game. You know what I mean? It's just part of the course. So that's another one. Another one potentially is the people. Now, nearly all the people I've met have been great, but you do get some characters who, let's be honest, you'd rather not be around. So you're standing pretty much in front of the whole world. You are going to attract people who you would not encounter in everyday life. So you don't really have that. You don't really have a great deal of control over that. People are going to kind of come up to you, and sometimes it can cause you quite a bit of discomfort. People who you'd rather just not be in your space, things like that. And but that's kind of depending on how you look at it, it could be classed as an occupational hazard. You don't have that much control of who comes up to you. So yeah, I guess that's it. But it's again, it's just part of the game. So the next question is, what was the first song you learned to play? From a busking set, if I can remember rightly, it was Parisian Walkways by Gary Moore. So I learned that kind of a few years ago, probably more than a few years ago. I was trying to get my busking set together, and I was trying to get songs together that I thought people would know. That made it into my set. It proved to be very popular, and it's still quite a popular edition now. So yeah, that was the first one. That was the first one I put in my set, the first real song anyway. Next one is, where do you enjoy playing the most? Like with a lot of these things, you can't just narrow it down to just one place. It's I've had some really brilliant days in York, particularly probably around the 2018, 2019. I've had some really good days there, particularly on Saturdays. It's just been cracking. Great reception of people. Couldn't have asked for any better, really. Middlesbrough, which is quite close to my hometown. I've always done, people have always been really welcome in there. Carlisle's the same. Carlisle, I've always really loved going to Carlisle. It's just, again, it's just punters are usually very generous there, and I guess for the kind of music I'm playing, people are maybe a little more curious than usual. And more recently, Birkenhead in Liverpool, which is kind of just across the Mersey near Liverpool. That was a really, really welcoming place. And again, I guess with my music, it's probably not it's not as common. So it's people I think are kind of more interested by it, I guess. Yeah, but those people were really welcoming. I really love Birkenhead. I would recommend it to to any busker who wants to try different places. Um, yeah, City of Liverpool as well. I really love that city. I'd go there again. So I guess those are my favourite places. That isn't just as usual. Isn't just one. Um, but yeah, that might change. I'll probably put some more on the list. So I guess hopefully that answers that question. This is a good one. Next one, weirdest thing someone has ever put in your case. So I've had a lot of very peculiar souvenirs, and some less peculiar ones, some kind of standard ones. I've been given a lot of food, coffee, alcohol. I've been given bottles of beer, cans of beer. I got given a half-open bottle of vodka once. Um, yeah, I've been given bags of Haribo, just loads of kind of very assorted gifts, and in terms of peculiar souvenirs, yeah, I've still got a few, so I'll show you them now. I got given these. Might have been last year, or the year before. I'm not gonna wear them. I don't think it'll go down well, but I'm sure the person meant well. So yeah, there was that one. This one I really like. Polaroid. You don't see these very often. They're not. Yeah, they're not as quite. Yeah, you don't see them nowadays. But this nice Polaroid of me. Yeah, I was quite chuffed with that. It's different. Let's see that one as well. Not so sure about that one. I think it was given me by a fairly religious person as well. And speaking of religious, I've had lots of religious literature. I get a lot of pamphlets, leaflets, and people just chuck them in my case and stuff. I've had a lot of that, but none more original than this one. So, way of life. For what is your life? I'll read a bit of an excerpt of it for your entertainment. So, like so many people these days, I enjoy the freedom of riding a motorbike. I also know what it's like to come off one. In 2001, I crashed my bike at 60 miles an hour and lived to tell about it. I realised my life had been spared. I could easily have been killed. It's at times like these you think seriously about life and death. We're all on a journey through life, and our final destination on the earth is the same: death. Yet, according to the Bible, there is life after death. We shall go to one of two places, either heaven or hell. As far as religious leaflets go and pamphlets go, I found this one to be quite original, so I thought it was worth keeping on to for that at least. Yeah. So so that's that one. This is where it gets a little bit strange. If it wasn't strange already. Classic cars, anyone? I'm not sure that I'm really. Yeah, I don't think classic cars are really my thing, but I'm sure the thought was there. Yeah. So yeah, that would be a nice calendar for this year, I guess. And the last one, which I guess is quite strange. Handbag from the same person as well. Yeah, I'm not really quite. I don't think it'd suit us. No, I don't think it would. No, I won't put it on. I don't think that's going to go down well. So those are among the strange souvenirs that I've got. If I have any more strange souvenirs, I might share them with you. But yeah, I kept those because I thought they were pretty memorable. So yeah, that's that. Final question is, to wrap this up, what made you decide to do this? So I've mentioned in my previous video that, when I moved up here, I had obviously the dilemma of most students of, you having to get a job and, just find some way to support yourself. It was a very kind of hands-on way of not only supporting myself, but I got to play guitar and I got to kind of practice a lot and stuff like that. So it was quite win-win in that sense. I was able to kind of just structure my busking and structure it around my lecture times, around my life, and basically essentially create my own routine and create my own hours. So, and that didn't really become apparent to me until kind of later on when it started to become more imperative and kind of more of a serious living. So yeah, it's kind of, it's my own hours, and yeah, so it's kind of, yeah, it's certainly been, it's kind of based around, there's a lot of freedom involved with it, I guess you could say. So it's very it can be potentially a very liberal lifestyle. So that's that. That's all. That's all. Those are some of the questions. Those are some of the questions there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video, please subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.